I'm going to count to 4. On 4, I'm going to clap. Will you clap with me on 4?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, you behave.
I got it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We're in.
Basic Folk features honest conversations with folk musicians hosted by Cindy House and Lizzie No. Hi, and welcome to Basic Folk, where we have honest conversations with folk musicians on the Bluegrass Situation Podcast Network. If you have not heard the news, maybe you're like, blah, I have heard the news. It's a 24-hour news cycle. I've definitely heard this news. Sorry, skip ahead the next 10 to 15 seconds. But Basic Folk is now an official production of the Bluegrass Situation.
Da-ba-da-da!
I'm Cindy House here with Lizzie No on the podcast.
A new day has come. Oh, I'm so sorry. Celine Dion just popped by.
Wow.
To give me a little gas up for the day. I'm doing great. I have a fever.
And the only cure is?
Likely ibuprofen, but a backup would be folk music.
Yay. Oh.
Basic Folk approaches these interviews with warmth, with humor, and most importantly, with insightful questions.
What is your physical state right now, especially like being on tour, being in a car, scrunching yourself down to record in your weird little spaces? Like, how are your bodies dealing with this stress?
Well, you're really hitting all the marks here, Cindy, with your questions. Like a week and a half ago, I threw out my back.
Since 2018, this podcast has fostered the folk community and showcased a genre that is often misunderstood.
Has it really been since 2018? Well, no wonder our definition of folk is so extremely broad. We have an entire constellation of guests. And you're going to hear all of these stars sharing their stories, from 3-time Grammy winners like Molly Tuttle.
How have these songs helped you take control of the bluegrass narrative and tradition?
That's something I've always kind of struggled with. I remember when I first started writing songs, I just thought, like, I don't know how to write a bluegrass song. I can write a song, but they never ended up sounding like bluegrass to me. And I just didn't feel like my story fit into like the bluegrass narrative of the songs that I grew up singing.
You're going to hear from modern Haitian American folk legends like Leyla McCalla.
Where is ease coming into your feminism right now? Like, where is it showing up for you?
That's a great question, because it's not something that I feel actually shows up that much. I feel like my music has always been like, kind of touted as activist, and I always kind of felt like I don't know that I'm activist enough, which is also another classic, experience of Black women. Like, when we do get given our flowers, we're like, well, I don't know if I did enough.
Should I hand out a few of the flowers
right. Should
to
I
everyone
share
here?
it with the community so that I feel less bad?
Should I dry the flowers and make them useful in some way?
Exactly.
And really deep feelers like John Hiatt.
Thanks for having me.
I've read that you're a pretty private person. You don't like talking about like certain details, so I've tried to like keep that in mind.
Oh, my life's an open book. Cindy.
Okay.
Ask me anything.
All right, great. And I am going to ask you about your feelings, so hope you're ready.
I'm sorry, I can't go there. That's too scary.
I know, I agree. But I'm hoping that we'll all learn a thing or two by the end of this. Basic Folk is dedicated to showcasing the best in folk, bluegrass, acoustic, and americana, including Black, brown, and queer folks who have been excluded or felt like they did not belong in the folk world.
Cindy and I each brings a unique perspective to this work, to these honest conversations with folk musicians. I feel like we can't say that enough. We are equally dedicated to repainting the broad landscape of folk music as we are to tearing down those pesky ivory towers of the music industry. And as a New Jersey girl, I can't help but wonder, what would Bruce Springsteen, aka The Boss, do if he ever actually got the keys to that mansion on the hill? I don't know about you, Cindy, but I'm excited to find out.
Hell yeah. Basic Folk is so pleased to be an official production of the Bluegrass Situation. Thanks for listening, and welcome to Basic Folk.
Thank you. I enjoyed talking to you too. Those are great questions. Let's talk again.
Okay, done deal.